Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Fanatical Elfz Show. It's a Thursday night. I'm John Suchan, and over there is Sam the Man Britton, all the way down there in Dallas, Texas. Hello, Sam. How are you this evening?
Hello, I am pretty good. Bored because there's no football, but we'd have a game right about now actually if it was Thursday night. So
Yes.
I'm excited to finally have football back in a few months. I mean, we're getting there. It's only
Closer.
we've got April, May, or no. Hold on, am I losing my mind? Yeah, I am losing my mind. We've got month after this, and then month after that, and then 2 more months, and then we have football. So yeah, I'm definitely losing my mind. All right, June, July, August. Yeah, so about 3 more months until we finally get football back, and so I'm excited because sometimes these months go really quickly, and football is back before you know it. So
yeah, no, I mean, I live here in Columbus, and so I haven't lived here until recent years, and so it's, I grew up in Ohio, but you live here in Columbus, and it's like football, college football, Ohio State. It's a year-round thing now, even though they're not playing the game. So I feel like, the sports radio, people are constantly talking about college football here. So even though they're not playing the games, there's still this constant conversation. So, but yeah. So what's the weather like there, Sam? We always start with the weather report here on the Fanatical Elfz Network.
it's cooler today. It wasn't as hot. It might rain as well. We've had a lot of rain these past few days, which has been nice because we kind of needed it. It's going to be mid to low 80s for the next few days. And then, yeah, it's going to be basically mid to low 80s until Wednesday next week. And then it'll jump up to the high 80s throughout the next few days until the Friday. So pretty good temperatures, really a bit warm, sunny. It's the perfect temperature to get those. It's too cold for pool day, but warm enough for you to take a walk and kind of get that not too hot, but that kind of like you did something, that feeling of you're warm and you maybe sweat a little bit, but you don't feel gross, that kind of feeling. So we've reached the peak before it hits the 1 million degrees that we get in the next few months.
You kind of hit that a couple weeks ago. You were up there in the 90s and stuff.
Yeah, it's can't really make up its mind, but I know that in about 30 days time, it's going to be like 110 degrees. So
well, happy Memorial Day to everybody, as this is a very early Memorial Day coming up on Monday, May 24th, I think, or 25th. May 25th this year. You can't get much earlier from Memorial Day, so hope everybody gets ready to, maybe we'll talk about that, Sam, before we leave. We'll talk about barbecues and cookouts, and get your assessment on that. But again, hope everyone has a great, safe weekend. I know, Sam, do you ever go to zoos? Do you like the zoo?
Very infrequently, but yes.
So they have one there, like in Dallas?
Yeah, they have a Fort Worth and Dallas too.
So they have two. So have you been to both?
I have not been to the Dallas one, but I've been to the Fort Worth one. Fort Worth one is pretty decent. It's actually quite large.
Yeah. So you're a fan of zoos, like you would.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a very nice experience when it's not too hot.
We're trying to decide. So here in Columbus, we're supposed to get a boatload of rain again. You ever heard the term gully washer? Gully washer?
No, I have not.
My wife hadn't either. I described it as a gully washer.
You're just old, John.
I know. I said, she's like, I've never heard that. I said, I think that's a phrase, gully washer, but I'll have to look it up later. But we're supposed to go to the zoo Saturday. And with the weather and pending weather, it's supposed to be, they're calling for like 2 inches of rain overnight, tomorrow night, Friday night, into Saturday. So it'll be interesting.
You'll be seeing a lot more aquariums.
Right? Yeah, they do have those things right now. See, I don't mind the aquariums, but what freaks me out are like the reptile stuff. That.
Oh yeah, where they got like 8 million spiders and stuff.
Do you like that part?
It's fun, but man, do they make those places like it's like a haunted mansion sometimes. They make those
Right?
rooms. They're like dim and dark with like all like realistic rocks, and you're like, am I gonna get eaten inside of here? Is there like a monster waiting for me?
Oh, right. No, it's like ever since I was a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have to like walk up to the glass and look around this big cage trying to find this like spider that's actually like burrowed under the ground. Yeah, they really get the ambience in those rooms pretty down.
Have you ever like in up in Wichita, up in Kansas, where I used to live for years, they had a really good zoo there, and one of the things that was an attraction there was this thing called the jungle. And you'd walk in and there would be birds flying all around and it looked like a jungle basically. But you like you were describing, you'd go into these crevices and different valley, areas, and there'd be like these darkened caves, and oh, I would always freak out, just like, oh, I don't want to go in there. This is when I was younger. Well, not that much younger, but anyway. So we're thinking about going to the zoo, but we don't know. We don't want to get washed out. So you think we should still go if it's rainy?
I mean, maybe as long as it's not too intense rain, you could definitely do it. If you just bring an umbrella or ponchos or anything, I bet other people are gonna do it. So,
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's gonna not probably
although
won't
I don't
be.
know I don't know how the rain might affect the animals. Like, are they gonna be inside and you're not even gonna get to see them? It's things like that.
That's another good observation. Yeah.
I wonder if your zoo. I'm pretty sure some zoos, most maybe have like Twitter accounts and stuff or Instagram. I wonder if they'll update you.
Right. Speaking of that, all of that, please follow us on all those platforms like YouTube, TikTok. We're the Elves Network, ELFZ Network. Follow us there. Subscribe to us. Listen to our shows later, like Sam and I. This show, which is live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Thank you for watching us. Well, you can listen to us later if you don't have time to watch us right now as you're scrolling. You can listen to this fine podcast. Sam knows all about Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. You want to talk about Hemisphere Coffee Roasters, Sam?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty good. Uh, Great coffee. I like them, so
Yeah.
I bet you'll enjoy them. You got to get them in quickly, but though before the weather starts really heating up. So if you want those warm coffees, you got to drink them first. I don't know if Hemisphere makes iced coffees. Uh, I bet you could make your own like iced coffee variants if you're smart
Mm-hmm.
using the Hemisphere. So I mean, if you need that warm cup of coffee in the morning, I definitely would pick Hemisphere.
I like that. I like that a lot. So, Sam, the Browns are doing OTAs this week, and they're voluntary. There's been a lot of conversation this week about the quarterback stuff and then Miles Garrett stuff. So I wanted to get into this a little bit with you. And then we've talked about this conversation endlessly, and we're going to continue talking about it for the next 3.5 months. But let's start with the quarterback stuff. Steve, our colleague Steve Gill, and I talked, and Steve has come out pretty brashly and said, "Look, I don't. I think all of this Deshaun Watson story is just fluff. Even though we're seeing him throw the ball. He has indications from people that his sources that are suggesting that a lot of this is being created by the organization, the Browns, to try to spark some sort of trade or something
That's immediately what
potentially.
I was thinking, that this
Yeah,
is
what do
some
you
sort
think
of
about all
yo.
this? Yeah.
I mean, if oh man, if Deshaun Watson touches the field at any point in the season, something has gone very wrong. If he touches the field, you are most likely looking at a top 5 pick in the draft, kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Um, you've lost Shadur, you've lost Gabriel's, you've lost whatever veteran you pick up in the next few months. If you do, I
Mm,
mean, you're looking at a disaster of a season if Deshaun touches the field. So I don't want to see him suit up for the Browns because that means something has likely gone very wrong.
hmm
Um, but yeah, it's mostly just it's the same reason you unveil all of your awesome products the moment you go public on the stock market, because then you get
hmm
investors, you get people buying them. So if you can,
hmm
'cause he's going to be gone the second we're allowed to cut him next year, he's going to be gone. Um,
Exactly.
and so your hope is, all right, let's do all these stunts, let's really push him, and maybe there's a desperate team out there. Now, I think this year, unfortunately, is going to be a hard year to trade him because there's
hmm
so many good quarterbacks in the draft
Yeah.
that it far more wise to pick someone in the draft. Use your value. If you're
Mm-hmm.
going to trade, you're going to trade up for a quarterback and not trade for a Deshaun Watson. So I think realistically, it's probably smarter to maybe hopefully get an in-season trade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, sorry, not in-season trade, pre like draft trade, because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
teams are going to be looking at the draft for their quarterback and not looking at Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, it's really a mixed bag of information right now because anything you see out there, especially here in Cleveland and the social media posting, I mean, everyone is trying to, and even national folks are spinning this out of control about Deshaun Watson is going to be the week one starter, and I mean, 90% of us Browns fans are about ready to throw up. It's just
I mean,
god
the national
awful.
media doesn't know much past what the score of the Lakers game is. I mean, we're not especially niche. Like the Browns are definitely not the face of an NFL thing. When you look
Mm-hmm.
at these teams in the NFL, you don't look at the Browns very often. So they'll just take
No, why
anything
not?
because the Browns aren't a team you look at. Now, if you win 2 Super Bowls in a row, you'll be a team they look
Yeah.
at. But they'll talk about the Chiefs, Patriots, Seahawks, Cowboys, um, teams like that. And the Browns are just, if they're going to talk about the Browns, they probably haven't done a whole lot of research because we're just not the view team for these big national companies.
We've got a young team now. We've got all this youth, and I think a lot of the conversation recently has been around, with this conversation this week with all the quarterbacks. It's like we just came off of this really pretty good draft by all accounts. People think that these draft
Amazing
picks,
draft. I mean,
right?
A or A plus potentially.
So why would the Browns like that's what's driving me and a lot of Browns fans absolutely insane because it just seems like the Browns don't aren't I mean what you just said I think and I agree with Steve. I think it's all a ploy. I think they are trying desperately to get rid of Watson before they have to. He'll be a cut next year. They want to see if some team is desperate enough to get him, and that's why they're talking him up. But it's just crazy talk at this point. It's difficult to really. I mean, I don't know about you, Sam. I know you're down there in Dallas. You're not amongst lots of other Cleveland fans, but I have so many people that when we are talking during the course of the week, they'll send me stuff and they'll say, "Hey, John, look, Watson's going to start in week one," and all I can tell them is like, "No, he's not." So
Unless Shadur and Gabriel's can't throw a football further than like 6 feet, Deshaun's not looking at even the field.
I mean, my colleagues Rod Bloom and his brother Jeff on the Browns Blitz, they were talking about it a week ago too, and I mean, Jeff was saying there's no way that Deshaun is going to be ready to play physically until week 9 or 10 of the season. People are all seeing him throwing the ball right now. He's not ready to play a real football game for a long time. He's coming off major injuries. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything that the Browns actually do unless something, like I said, goes really wrong. But I mean, with this young team, yeah, they're very young. I think realistically, next year's draft is extremely important if you're looking at quarterback. I mean, if you can score someone in there, if you can score, I know a lot of people have their thoughts about him, but an Arch Manning
Mm-hmm.
or the Oregon kid, I mean,
Dante
maybe,
Moore. Yep.
yeah, maybe you're going to find someone. And if you have an A plus draft in 2024 or 2025, I mean, and
Yeah.
then an A plus draft this year, you're looking at a stud of a team to put a Dante Moore and Andre Manning, one of these kids
Mm-hmm.
behind. And I think that, I mean, you completely revamp the whole offensive line, add another
Yes.
offseason and another draft onto that. You
Mm-hmm.
could have something very good if this draft is what works out.
I like that. Hey, Sam, let's pause for a quick commercial and I want to talk to you about Miles Garrett here in a moment. We'll be right back. Thanks for coming back to the Fanatical Elves show, part of the Fanatical Elves network and part of Fans First Sports. That's Sam the Man Britton down there in Texas. I'm John Suchan up here in Columbus, Ohio, the Buckeye State. We're diehard Browns fans just like you. We appreciate you supporting our Fanatical Elves Network. You can check us out, subscribe to us, follow us anywhere you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We are there. Please follow us, subscribe, so we can grow. We are growing. We've been growing. We've been doing this now for 3+ years, I think. Is Sam, you've been with us for a while, but I think
I've
it's
been doing podcasts for like 4 or 5 years now.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I was doing it like the first year or second year Deshaun started, so it's
There you
definitely
go.
been a while. I could figure out when my first episode was.
It's been a minute. Yeah, you've been growing up. Yeah, Sam's entering his.
Yeah, I know.
Are you graduating the next year? You said April.
Oh no, sorry. I had my months all completely screwed up. No, I'm
Okay,
graduating this year. Yeah.
you are graduating this year.
Yep.
So he's finishing up, folks. He's finishing up. We had our seniors. I was Sam, our my colleague. We do this other show last night called the Stadium Mustard and Cincinnati Chili Show with my colleague Troy, and we're both counselors in our school district, and our seniors had their clap out. So the kids walk through the hallways, and everybody gives them high fives, and as they leave the building. So that was a fun moment for our seniors there. So all right, Sam. Miles Garrett. Are you concerned about Miles Garrett not being
No.
at OTAs?
No. No, absolutely not. I am not concerned at all. It's voluntary training for a reason. I mean, there really is no reason to go if you're a superstar like Garrett. I mean, sure, like maybe it looks bad, but I mean, you're not doing anything. It's non-contact, no pads, nothing. I mean, it's essentially just a thing for rookies and players who are looking at possibly being cut. It's just basically their look good to the team kind of thing. Like if your seat is secure, you really don't have any reason to be at an OTA,
Mm-hmm.
because you aren't really going to get anything out of that, especially if you're arguably the best defensive player in the league in Miles Garrett.
Yeah, so that's been the topic of the day though, Sam, here in Cleveland. It seems like there were some national folks talking about Miles Garrett, and so everybody today has been saying, "Oh, Miles Garrett hasn't met with Todd Monken yet." But yet, like Sam, like there are countless players that have been asked, like, "Are you worried that Miles isn't here?" And they all say the same thing you're saying. No, they're not. He's the best football player in the land. So his teammates aren't worried. So there's this narrative of trying to get rid of him. Some Jack B. Chris Canty was on the stupid show. He likes to rip the Browns, and he's like telling everybody today in the national media, "Oh, Miles Garrett's done. He won't. He's not ever going to play for the Browns again." I'm like, what planet are these people on? Like they just don't pay attention. They like to drive clicks, and that's basically what's happening this week. I certainly expect Miles Garrett to be there week one. I think he's going to try to crush the sack record that he set last year. And I think he's enjoying other parts of his life right now. He's getting older. This will be, I think, year 9, Sam, if I'm not mistaken, him being there.
Yeah.
So
So I checked. I probably started when this season starts. I think it'll have been 5 years since I started,
wow.
because I have a podcast saved that's the off season for the
Yeah.
first season, which was in February of 2023. Meaning, if I started an actual season, it would have started in September of 2022. So yeah, it'll have been, or no, it'll actually have only been 4 years that I will have started.
That's
So
still
it'll
a
be
long
my
time.
fourth season, I believe. Yeah, I mean
Well,
that's not a short amount of time in 18 years.
no,
I
we
mean that's what,
appreciate
like
you being part of our network. Sam
that's almost a
has the
that's
Browns breakdowns. You need to go listen to his
yeah.
show. So take a listen to it. He's got a lot of good information, and
Not a
he's
lot recently, but I mean
no.
there's not a whole lot anywhere to talk about in terms of football.
Have you had a chance to look at the Browns schedule at all over the last couple of weeks
Yeah,
since you've
I
been out?
have. I still really don't see anything that stands out like crazy. It just feels like a strange schedule. It doesn't look like anything like out of the like completely shocking, but it's also like, okay, this is a bit strange. You've got a lot of home games slash away games that
That's
are
the
just like
big thing.
in a
Yeah.
row. You're
Yeah.
like 3 away games and then 4 home games. Like it doesn't feel very spread apart. It's like you're gonna spend 4 weeks away or you're gonna spend all 4 weeks at home. So it seems a bit jumbled.
Yes. I mean, starting on the road with a brand new head coach who's not had any NFL coaching experience. I mean, no head coaching experience. 2 games on the road in Florida against Jacksonville and then our friend Baker Mayfield. And then 6 of the first 9 games on the road. It's it's going to be a tough schedule. And even though they have a good winning percent, or the teams that they're playing have of not a good winning percentage against their teams that they played a year ago, it just looks tough. I mean, that 3 game, like you said, the 3 away games, coming back, they had 4 home games. History, there's only been 9 teams, Sam. I don't know if you knew this. There's only been 9 teams that have had this type of 4 games at home schedule over the last 35 seasons. And in that time, most of the teams, like, for example, the Baltimore Ratbirds, the Green Bay Packers, these teams have been successful at either going 4-0 or 3-1 in that stretch of their home games. But the one outliner are the Tennessee Titans, who last year had 4 home games, and back in 2015 they had 4 home games in a row, and they went 0-4.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the Tennessee Titans, so I mean, let's not pretend that we're talking about an
But the
incredible
Tennessee
team here.
Titans beat us a year ago, Sam,
Yeah,
in
well, I
Cleveland.
think a lot of teams also beat us a year ago. I mean, we weren't exactly the greatest team ever, but I mean, yeah, it could be interesting. The Browns, when does the stadium open? 2029?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you Browns are playing just your last few seasons in the stadium, especially in the next 2 years, I'll say. So next year and then the year after that, a lot of people are going to be going for nostalgia. A lot of people who are in their 20s and 30s coming to the stadium of when they were younger, trying
Yeah.
to enjoy it before they move to the new stadium. So
Right.
that home field advantage will certainly go up because you're going to have a new stadium opening. So there's going to be a lot more people coming to enjoy that one last time, that last dance of your stadium.
So at this year's stadium, just running through these home games, they opened the season at home against the Carolina Panthers. How do you think we'll favor in that one? Coming off of 2 road wins.
Panthers are silently a half decent team. I mean, they
Yeah.
weren't amazing, but they definitely weren't a bad team. I could see you losing that game, but I think you could win. I think that's a very coin flip type of game.
Then they had the Thursday night game against the Squealers.
Steelers are gonna go like 6-11, so yeah, that's a win. You're gonna win
So now,
both
what do
your
you think about
games.
Aaron Rodgers now? There's news that he's coming back, but he's going to retire after this year.
I mean, yeah, I would also retire if I'm gonna throw 30 interceptions in a single season and win 5 games. He's gonna suck. He's gonna be terrible. It's
Yeah.
gonna be an atrocious season from the head coach. They're gonna fire him next year anyway.
Yeah.
Um, Aaron Rodgers is gonna have a terrible season, and the Steelers are gonna win at best 7 football games.
I wrote an article, or it's coming out tomorrow on Dog Pound Daily. Go check it out. The About just this topic that we just mentioned, just with Aaron Rodgers, and that, like you said, he's going to be crappy. The team's going to be sub 500, and waiting in the wings is Will Howard, which doesn't have exactly Pittsburgh Squealer fans super excited about what's next. So we'll see.
It has me excited because the more times he starts, the more games they lose. So
Right. No, I think that's the thing, So I wrote a little bit about that, and how the Browns fans, like we're talking about, are pretty giddy, pretty happy that this is the news, because quite honestly, if Cleveland plays their cards right, they have a pretty good defense. They should at least be able to overtake the Squealers and maybe stay out of the cellar this year. And if they get lucky, they could win a few more games and be right there with the Ratbirds and the Bungles. So
I mean, yeah, I think you could. I don't know. I think the Bengals. It's weird. I feel like the Ravens are the only team who have any chance of getting above 10 wins.
So then they go on the road again. They come back and they play the Ratbirds. They go on the road for 3 games against the Titans, the Steelers, and the Saints before they come back for that 4 game homestand. What do you think about their chances? We go on the road, we play the Titans.
You could go into that 4 game home thing
Yeah,
3-0, honestly.
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't put it past your team to go 3-0 into that three thing and then come home for 4 weeks already on a 3-0 win streak.
yeah. You think you could? I mean, I think there's an op. I think it's realistic that if they play just a little bit better, they should be able to beat the
It
Titans.
it is the modern NFL. It's very, very coin flip type of stuff now.
Sure.
Like, I must say, as you watch the NFL these modern years, it's become harder and harder to tell what a team is going to do. Like, no one expected the Vikings to go 14-3 a few years ago.
No.
No one expected the Lions to lose in their first round by like 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
No one expected this. I mean, maybe someone did, but I didn't expect the Seahawks to be as dominant as they were. If you're a Patriots fan, you went from 4-13 to the Super Bowl. It's it's very, very
Mm.
hard. So you could go 3-0. I think it's a higher chance you go 3-0, but it's closer to a 60-40% chance than it is like a 80-20 or something like that.
So then they come home for that 4 games. They get a bye in there in week 11. So they have the Texans, the Raiders, the Bungles, and the Falcons. Kevin
Uh,
Stefanski.
3-1, yeah. You lose to who's the first team?
The Texans.
Yeah, you lose to the Texans. And then I would not be surprised if I think the Falcons are an easy win. Bengals are an easy win. And the Raiders probably an easy win since I don't know if Mendoza's even going to start this year. He probably won't. So the only
Mm-hmm.
game you really could lose to is the Texans, and they've been in a lot of turmoil as well with their quarterback and stuff. I mean, you stole like half their offensive line, so
Yeah. Well, they jump back on the road. They play the Giants, the Ratbirds, and the Bengals. And mixed in there, they have a home game against the Colts at the very end of the season. And I just can't expect much from the Colts. What do you think of the Colts?
I mean, they were a sneaky team 2 years ago, 1 year
Yeah.
ago. No,
Yeah.
they were. It was like 2 years ago. They 8-0.
Yeah.
I like they
Yeah,
were
they
the
did.
undefeated,
Yeah.
and then of
Yep.
course they collapsed and didn't. I don't even know if they made it to the wild card
I
round.
don't think they
But
did.
I mean, it was like what the heck is going on? Because you see an
Yeah.
8-0 undefeated
Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts team.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm that's also pointing to the unpredictability of the NFL. Like this Colts team was outpacing Bills, prime Chiefs. Like you're looking at these dominant teams that you think of, and it's like, oh yeah, nah, the Colts beat the Chiefs by like things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean nowadays it's probably a win though.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna, look it over. I don't want to give any sort of predictions until we get closer to the season, but
I
you
don't
know,
think you should give a prediction for any game until you're basically at that week, especially
right.
nowadays. Like that seems ridiculous. Like Steve, I mean, he doesn't even make predictions, even if it's like game day. So
Yeah. 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 It's the theme this year. A lot of chatter right now in the last week or two, especially with OTAs this week and the new coach Todd Monken. Everyone's just talking about how he and Stefanski are like polar opposites, and that Monken is much more verbal, outgoing. He cusses. He talks like what some people think a football coach should sound like, but I think they come all in all shapes and sizes. I'm not gung ho about Todd Monken. I want to see what he does as far as being the head coach, and does he change anything? We see all these things, but until we actually get to week 1 and are playing out on the field, we just don't know. Right now, it's just all new. And Todd Monken's never been a head coach at the NFL. He was a head coach, I think, at Southern Miss for a year or two, and he did some good things at the college level. He's been with the Ratbirds for a little bit. He did some good things with, Lamar Jackson and whatnot, but not and Todd Monken was with the,
he
the
turned him into an
Browns.
MVP, right, Mungan?
Yeah. And I mean, Todd Monken was actually with the Browns even before that. And if you might recall, he was with this team back in 2019. So he's been with the organization. I'm excited to see what he does, but I'm not, as an older Browns fan, I mean, I've seen that, done that, and I'm just gonna wait and see, see how it all plays out. I hope to God that this team, like you've said, and we've all talked about these two last drafts have been more successful. And like you're suggesting, I mean, if we can hit on these draft picks in this last part of this second draft, the next year, you could, if we still needed that quarterback, if Shador doesn't show signs that he's the guy, like you're suggesting, go out there and get the Manning kid, right?
Yeah, Manning more. I mean, you could be looking at them. Now, of course, that mean you'd be bad this year, but I mean, I think realistically, you kind of do. You don't want to lose. You absolutely don't want to lose. But I think there's some sort of value this year in losing because of the quarterbacks you can get,
Yeah,
and especially if you build a good team, like that's the last piece you're missing if you really score on this draft.
yeah. Well, Sam, I think we wrap things up tonight. Any final thoughts tonight on anything coming up? Are you going to be working on a show here coming up here soon? Or you got anything writing for Cleveland Sports Talk?
Not really, no. I mean, it's just not much. OTAs are basically meaningless. The draft is far enough behind us that I mean, the draft was almost what, a month ago at this point?
Yeah,
It's been a really fast month.
I
So, I
know.
mean, like everything that can be talked about either is or has already been talked about. So there isn't a whole lot to do. Now, once some other things start coming up, once training camp starts to ramp up and things, maybe I'll have some stuff then. But unless I can come up with some
Yeah.
ideas, there won't be a whole lot.
Well, the Cavs are playing tonight against the New York Knickerbockers, so check that out if you're a basketball
They're
fan.
losing.
Are they
Knicks
already?
are really good.
Are they already
I'm
losing?
yeah, they're gonna lose the game. Um,
Oh, for sure. Well, the
I
Cavs
think
blew
the
it. We
Knicks.
talked about it off air, but the Cavs just a horrible, horrible loss. I don't put it up there as like one of the worst Cleveland sports losses, but it's definitely in the top 10. Not the worst one, but certainly
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams, Cavs or Knicks, are gonna beat the Spurs or the OKC.
well, that's a good observation
I
too. I
think the
know.
Spurs are gonna 4-0 either of the teams, and I think OKC could probably 4-0 either of the teams as well.
Yeah. Well, Sam, I hope you have a good evening. Everybody, thanks again for tuning into the Fanatical Elves Network here on our show tonight, Thursday night. We'll be bringing you more shows later in the week. The Browns Blitz with Rod Bloom and his brother Jeff will be coming up soon. Sam might be doing a show. He's be writing a little bit more for Cleveland Sports Talk. Catch Sunday. We've got Steve Gill with his Dog Pound South show. I'll have my Johnny Cleveland podcast along with Stirring the Pot and the new show that I'm doing with my colleague Troy, the Stadium Mustard and Cincinnati Chili Show. So tune in for those next time. Sam, have a great night.
Yeah, go Browns.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Oof, oof. Even in the off season. See ya.